Yeah, well, you guys saw the press, you saw the statement, right? So Sasha, he had successful surgery at Baptist Doctors with John Uribe and Dr. Yagnik, and I just know what I've been told, and actually, it's almost kind of making funny. When I talked about Matthew, I said December-ish. I don't know, like that's just sort of the temporal scope of the recovery. So this one they're saying 7 to 9 months. Of course in Florida it's only 3 months because we get an advantage. But yeah, we feel horrible for Sasha. Obviously, most of you know him, and you know the impact that will have on him and his love for the game and his love for the Panthers. But it's something we have to get over. It's a huge blow. I don't know what other facts. Am I forgetting anything? But you guys. No, I said. Yeah. Who is? He should, but he doesn't want to, I'm sure. Yeah. Hey, he did my knee. I had 3 tears in my meniscus, and I went to dinner that night with no pain pills. It's unbelievable. So.
Have you talked to Sasha since the surgery?
No. So.
Before the surgery?
Yeah. I talked to him, and in typical Sasha fashion, I said there's not really a lot to say other than, I'm very sorry and thanks, buddy. How are you? Like he has a pretty strong resolve. And of course, he won't show it all the time because of who he is. But, yeah, I think he's going to be okay.
There's going to be a perception that without 16, they can't do it again. How much will that, and perceptions are what you want to make of them, obviously, but how much will that fuel this team that, okay, we don't have our captain for the first 82, and we're still going to find a way? Can that be a rallying cry?
Yeah, I hope that it will be. And it's going to be, everybody's going to have to do a little bit different. Paul had a great point that he made in a conversation. He said, what you're going to see, look, you can't replace this guy. So we have to do things differently. So it's just going to be different. And we're going to have to figure out ways for all of us to be better, myself included. And it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. We're going to have to scratch and claw.
When it comes to Sasha's knee, it looked like it just buckled on him. Was that something that maybe was there a problem there previously maybe? Or?
No, I couldn't speculate on any of it.
I just wondered if the doctor said something or
No. He didn't say anything. I'm not sure I could say if he did even, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I listen to what I'm told, and he had the 2 ligaments that he had to have repaired, and that's the time frame. And now let the professionals do their thing and carry on.
For what you do next in your role,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know. 7 is one thing, 9 is something else entirely. Do you operate under the anticipation that he could come back?
You can. So in my world, probably a little different. I envision a spectrum of any and all possibilities. Maybe I could play. All right, well, that's on one end. That it's not going to happen. You're right after me.
Oh, hell no.
So somewhere between the absurd and the ridiculous and the probable, there's a spectrum of possibilities that we have to consider. So I told our guys, it's no different actually than what we do every day. I won't say all day, but a lot of the time we spend is every day from a roster personnel availability standpoint. What do we need to get better? What what could help us now, what could help us in the long run, what considerations do we need to entertain in order to just keep being aware and keep getting better. So that process is already in place. Can't replace Sasha Barkov, but what options might be available? And the decision might be option A, option Q, option H. But you know what? We're good. And it might, maybe we watch and take some time. Like there's no real answer. It's a fluid exercise. But the consideration of anything and everything is in play, and it always is.
Bill, like, whether no one can replace Sasha or Carlos, these are two guys that should get in elevator roles, or Benny and Wendy. Benny's coming off the contract. Wendy seems to get better every year. How much are you looking forward to seeing how this affects those guys, maybe how they kind of rise to the occasion?
Yeah, and I don't think, not to be contrarian, and I know what you're saying, and yes, it's accurate. The bigger thing is, weren't you already looking for that anyway? Wasn't that an expectation that people continue to improve and grow and get better? And so how we play, how each individual improves, grows, I don't know what the word is, but evolves. It's probably a function of what I had hoped for anyway. So that part at least is seamless. And sorry, and I look, just from pure math, right? There's some other player who probably wouldn't have been playing or have been playing as much, who now will probably get a little more ice time. And how coach deploys guys night in and night out may change a little bit. And that's how we're going to have to do it. It's going to be very hard.
In that vein, Evan Rodriguez,
Uh-huh.
how valuable he is, Wednesday, Thursdays, first line winger, and then now he's your third line center. Just the way that he can just move up and down and play
Yeah,
position
it's-
and really just.
I think the last 2 years, I think he played on every line. Yeah, in both seasons.
And the player.
Yeah, so you're looking at like he won 2 Stanley Cups playing on every line. That's a talent. That's a talent, and it also speaks to his character. There's not too many guys capable of playing on the first line who you say, yeah, you're the fourth line tonight. Okay, let's go. And that's what that team is about in the culture.
And just, I know you mentioned it, but like the timeline, are you just gonna wait and see? Well, just because you do have the LTIR thing, so do you wait a couple months and say, well, maybe he can be ready for the playoffs, or are you, just, the full recapture, for his salary? When do you have to do that, or is that just something you wait a couple months until it has to be done?
I think any decision about the recapture, the timing of that will happen when it happens. I don't think it's something obviously I could control. I could cut the whole team today and we don't have a team. But that's a fluid process, and it's a cliche, I'm sorry, will kind of happen when it does because of what is going on. So that's the best answer I can give is yeah, I don't know.
The decision does not.
Yeah, there's no like December 18th, that's our day. No.
Still considering some of the players that you're gonna have to be without to start the season, how much more significant does Brad Marchand's skill set come in the sense that, like Barkov, he's born to see, and like Matthew, he has a very emotional feel for the game.
Yeah, it makes it easier that he's here, that's for sure. And that I think in a unique way, in such a short period of time, doesn't it kind of seem like he's always been here, right? It seems like he's part of the furniture, right? Is that Oliver, the musical, right? You're one of us. I'm not going to sing, but you know the song. But it does, and he's only been here like since trade deadline. So I think that helps. Obviously, his level of leadership, his level of commitment to the team, to the family, these are the times when that becomes even more valuable. So it's a great point.
Not like this could get, I mean, obviously it's incredibly significant for the Panthers, but you know how much he wanted to play in February. Too. Just how much worse does that make it, knowing that that opportunity, at least until 2030, is going to get taken away from Sasha?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. That's about all I can say. I'm not going to harp on it, or it's heartbreaking.